Hi, here we are at Lewis Meadows. We're working hard, as you can see, on dealing with invasive weeds in the city of Wheat Ridge. This is a cool new partnership between my farm, Fife Ridges Farm, and the city of Wheat Ridge to bring some full ruminants, which are great for grazing invasive weeds, out into the community to do a little work. Look at this lazy goat. This is called lazy grazing, I guess. I mean, you can see how mellow goats are. These guys have all been trained like dogs, and they're just super friendly and nice.
We're using goats to help control vegetation here, both weeds and grasses. And this is allowing us not to mow this area, which is about 2 acres. It will allow us to help revegetate, and it will help us improve the soils here through their grazing, their hoof action, and their fertilizing.
The tough thing about invasives is that they typically spread by rhizome, or they spread by dropping millions of seeds, and they literally just overtake native communities, which is why we call them invasive. And so the cool thing about a goat is that they break down the seed pod completely.
This is an example of a noxious weed. This is a Lassie species, so it's going to be really hard to control. But this is a cheatgrass. It's a type of brome we'd like to also control. This is a mustard, and it's a state-listed noxious weed, so we need to control it. Once these are removed from the system, we can come in and seed with desirable grasses and get something better growing in its place. Controlling noxious weeds is important because they'll spread if we don't control them. They tend to isolate themselves and create open areas where other weeds can creep in, and it exposes soil, so that also increases erosion either through wind or water runoff. So that in doing this, that'll help us improve the soil.
They're removing those invasive seeds, and then we're fertilizing the stuff that's here. Goat poop, unlike chicken poop, is much more inert. It's not particularly hot compost. It's something that grasses can continue to grow in, and it doesn't kill the grasses.
Grazing allows us not to use herbicides on this particular parcel. That saves the city money by not having to spray it.
Anytime we're aerosolizing those pesticides, they're not only getting on the plants, but they are getting into water and other systems that can just cause some harm. And it's kind of one of those things where if we have an alternative that's easy and local to use, why not?
Once it gets grazed to a certain level, we'll remove the goats, and then we'll bring them back later this summer. We'll also incorporate some seeds at that point in time, and the hoof action of the goats will help work those into the soil, and we should have a larger variety of grasses.
You'll find that over a couple years, this will become a much healthier looking meadow. The whole idea of rotational grazing is you're just having animals on to help the growth and then moving them to a different place, so then the native grass communities can come back. You know, I've just kind of fallen in love with goats since knowing Louise Turner, who I learned from, who was a longtime resident of Wheat Ridge, and she has since passed, and she taught me how lovely goats are. They're funny too. They're kind of like 9th graders.
This grazing is a good start, another tool in our toolbox to help protect the natural resources, the water, get more desirable plants growing. And it's about 4 acres is under grazing, and I think that's an initial, good start to this program, and we may explore other areas where it's appropriate to graze.
I just want to thank everybody in the city of Wheat Ridge for being open to something like this. This is a really, really cool initiative, and it's at the forefront of what a lot of communities are thinking about regarding sustainability. And we're just lucky enough here in Wheat Ridge to have a lot of these resources still in the community. But I just want to send out a big thank you to everybody for being open to something like this.